Hey, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to TeamVRY, and so we finally got the Pixel 8a here with us, and I'm pretty excited to show you guys my thoughts and impressions about this smartphone. I am a big fan of the Pixel A series phones, as well as last year's Google Pixel 8 flagship devices. And with that said, it's interesting to see how Google will combine some of the more high-end specs on the Pixel 8 series with the more budget-friendly nature of the Pixel A mid-rangers. With that said, let's get started. Right, so unboxing the phone, we do have the bay blue color here with us, which is a bit different from the regular bay blue on the Pixel 8 Pro, being that the phone now comes with a slightly more saturated tint, and it does feature a matte finish on both the rear panel and the sides of the phone. I have to admit, I am a big fan of Google's previous designs on the Pixel 4a series, which did come with matte finishes, as it did end up being more scratch resistant compared to the glossy plastic on the Pixel 6a and the 7a, for example. And yeah, overall it's a pretty compact device. Now this IP67 design wraps around the screen's display, which I think is one of the biggest upgrades to the A series overall. Now the screen does come with a smoother 120Hz refresh rate, and it's a lot brighter at up to 2000 nits of peak brightness, which easily outshines the Pixel 7a and the Pixel 6a before it. And yeah, it's very similar to the display on the regular Pixel 8, which I think is a really great improvement. And you're not gonna find a lot of phones around this price that come with this kind of brightness and refresh rate. With that said though, it does feature Gorilla Glass 3, which is a very old version of Gorilla Glass at this point, and it does feature slightly thicker bezels than usual. So yeah, if you're very particular about that, then it might not be very visually appealing for you. Overall though, the screen is a definite improvement over past A series models, and I think it's one of the best features of this smartphone. Now in terms of performance, the phone does come with 8GB of RAM and the Tensor G3 chip, which is the same SoC found in the Pixel 8 and the 8 Pro. With that said, performance in general is pretty similar to what you get on the Pixel 8, and I think that the Tensor G3 is a big improvement over the G2, especially when it comes to overall battery performance, thermal management. And yeah, for most consumers looking for a reliable daily smartphone, the Pixel 8a and the Tensor G3 will be a very capable combination. And yeah, you can run some games on the Play Store here, but of course, as with most Pixel smartphones, if you're looking for something for more graphically intensive titles like Genshin Impact, you might want to go for a phone with a different chipset, such as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 or the 8 Gen 2. But yeah, overall, it's a very capable phone without problems like restarts, stuttering, and stuff like that. Now for software, the phone is of course running Android 14 on here, which means that you get a lot of the latest Android features on the Pixel 8a, including some exclusive Pixel stuff like SMS spam filter, call screening, Google's amazing voice to text feature, and some additional stuff like the new Magic Editor software that made its debut on the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro. With that said though, if you're looking to keep this phone for a long time, then you'll be glad to know that it's going to come with up to 7 years of software support. So people who keep their phones for longer than usual, who don't really need to upgrade every year or every 2 years, might want to consider the Pixel 8a in that regard. Now for camera hardware, it does come with the same hardware setup on the Pixel 7a, which includes a 64 megapixel main camera, in addition to a 13 megapixel ultra-wide lens, as well as a 13 megapixel selfie camera. Now it's not going to be much different than the Pixel 7a. Of course, it will come with that signature Pixel look with Google's computational photography, and of course a ton of camera features such as portrait mode, night sight, as well as 4K video recording and other such features. Now with that said though, while it does come with a higher resolution than the 50 megapixel sensor on the Pixel 8, it should be said that physically the Pixel 8 has a larger sensor, so it does have that edge over the Pixel 8a in that regard. With that said though, camera performance on the Pixel 8a is terrific as expected. I mean, at this price point, you are going to get a ton of different smartphones with very capable cameras, but the way that the Pixel 8a handles computational photography, especially with Google's specialized camera software, does give it an edge over competing devices. Now as for battery, the phone does come with a 4492 mAh capacity unit, so it's still not at that 5000 mAh capacity that we find on most smartphones nowadays. And yeah, since I have only had the phone for not too long, I'm gonna give you guys more updates in the future about the battery performance of the Pixel 8a. But yeah, so far the battery performance on the phone is decent, at least for the few days that I've had it. Although one caveat is that it still comes with slower 18-watt charging as well as slow wireless charging, so if you're looking for an upgrade in terms of charging speeds, then you're not gonna find it on the Pixel 8a. Now as for other features, you do get face unlock on the Pixel 8a as well as fingerprint unlock, which is pretty much so and so. It's still not an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor unlike on more expensive smartphones, so you're not gonna get blazing fast fingerprint scanning here. For the most part, it does work decently, which is something to keep in mind. Of course, it does come with stereo speakers on the top and bottom of the phone, and yeah, it does get loud at a pretty good volume with decent bass, and I just want to give you guys a quick sample of how it sounds. Alright, so for a price of around 500 bucks, the Pixel 8a is priced closer to the Pixel 8, which has seen some pretty big price drops since it launched. You're gonna find the Pixel 8 for around 500 to 550 bucks now, which will depend on where you're buying the phone from. But on its own, the Pixel 8a so far is a very capable smartphone. I am pretty happy with it so far, and I'll be sure to give you guys more videos about the Pixel 8a in the coming weeks and months. So yeah, that does it for this quick video. Let me know your thoughts about this smartphone in the comments below. Are you going to get the Pixel 8a or do you want a different Pixel phone instead? Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.